Hi, I am Dr. Chris Baker on a absolutely glorious day here in Abu Dhabi, and once again at the beautiful St. Regis Hotel. And a little bit earlier, I talked about the train, fast train, coming down the tracks, and asked you if you're dancing on the tracks. Today, as soon as you have the time, if you haven't seen that video, please go look for it, because there's a fast train approaching, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. In other words, okay, we have a concern. What do we do about it? Well, I want to talk to you about the fact that we can choose freedom. We can get off the tracks. We can choose freedom over paying some corporate CEO's country club membership. We can choose freedom to get up in the morning and look forward to going to work. Enjoy the idea of our day. We can choose freedom to get to work to make money for you and your family, for ourselves, for what we set out to do, instead of letting the insurance companies and government keep the greatest majority of it. We can choose freedom to diagnose your own patients and not have the insurance companies doing it for you. What about the sequence of things? I might like to choose to do a pulpotomy and a stainless steel crown in one appointment. That's my usual technique. And actually, there are Medicaid organizations in our country that say you can't do it on the same day for whatever their reason. Doesn't matter. I want the freedom to choose to practice and do the best for the child patient that I can. I want the freedom to set my own fees because I know my overhead. Don't you? We want the freedom to have a practice that actually functions as a business, not as an arm of a big corporation, insurance company, government. We want the freedom to incorporate systems in our practices that don't require us jumping through hoops, hiring many people, having many extra staff to file paperwork, and to treat a lot of patients, because if you don't do big bulk quantity, you're not going to make any money. We need freedom to take good care of our patients and not spend all of our time doing all of these other things. We need freedom to go home at night at a reasonable hour and make it to our child's soccer game and make it to dinner and enjoy our families. These days go by way too quickly to spend them all desperately trying to make a living in our office with early hours, late hours, and exhaustion. Opt into a different kind of life. It's called free market medical. It's called the free market because you are not dealing with a third party who's siphoning off your money. You are taking care of your own business, charging what you charge, and treating your patients well. Free market is the place to be. Now, we can talk about how to get there, but right now I just want you to think about that concept. I want you to think about Benjamin Franklin's quote that I wrote down here: make yourself sheep and the wolves will eat you. I want to decide what my missionary work is going to be. I don't want to be a member of the unpaid dental robot collective. Choose freedom over being required to change your model of care. Let me translate that. How about if you go out of business and my 2 employees with high school educations replace you? Dr. David Gesko, and I took some notes on this because I wanted to get his quotes correct, says if you're concerned about dental therapists from a competition standpoint, note that dentistry as a whole is changing, and you may have to get used to new technologies and new methods and models of care. New models of care. This is a man who is a dental director and senior vice president of Health Partners. It's a corporation that reports serving over 1.5 million members. Insurance speak for people for whom they take money and give the dentist a little bit. His biography says Dr. Gesko is passionate about integrating medical and dental care and applying growing evidence-based research to care delivery. Think about those words, care delivery. It seems the biggest advocates for cheaper dental or medical care are the older practitioners who have had their time in their practice, who have made their living. They may be retired. They may now be functioning as heads of big corporations, receiving very generous salaries, probably working not too many hours. Sounds like a good way to live. However, the young dentist out of school with $500,000 worth of debt and the need to make a living is going to be in big trouble if this model of care takes hold, if we lose the ability for these dentists to make any money. This is not a good situation, and I'm talking about it from your standpoint, and I want you to think about it from your patient's standpoint. It's really hard for me to imagine that after I was in nursing and functioned as a critical care nurse for many years, that the nurses' aides with whom I worked, who usually were high school graduates, who usually had a month or two's worth of training, could have done any of the procedures for which I was responsible. That's hard to imagine, and yet that's what we're looking at here. So here we are, Dr. Gesko, who happens to be a Minnesota Board of Dentistry member and actually this year president of the Board of Dentistry, says he's worked alongside dental therapists since their inception in Minnesota. So far, he's had positive experiences, and so have the low-income patients at Health Partners dental clinics. You know, at Love and Orthodontics, we're here to help the dentist have the practice of your dreams. We're here to have a happy career that gives you a prosperous and free from harassment, free from being stuck in the insurance and corporate mold, and the ability to choose your model of care to do the very best job you can do for your patient. You can use a model to create life where you're free, where you're prosperous, where you're happy. You can use systems, if you implement them, which keep it interesting, wonderful, again, profitable, which give you a better ability to take care of yourself and your family and even your staff, to be a better member of your community and implement these systems in ways that will amaze you. Let me close with this thought. Fear knocked at the door. Faith answered. No one was there. Dr. Chris signing off.